What's up, guys? Get the popcorn popping, get the sodas pouring, get the coffees made. Hurry up, make love to your wife, and get right back here because it is your favorite show, the Lucha Libre News/Rant Show. So let's just dive right in for it. I got a little bit, but not a lot. So Martinez Entertainment held an event called Sweet Nightmares, and of course, as usual, Martinez Entertainment events, it was pretty decent, but nothing amazing. But it was still good nonetheless. Zeus X ended up teaming up with Baris Del Aire to take on Sadaka and Rey Vampiro. This matchup was, for me, the matchup of the night. It was simply amazing. Anytime Sadaka and Zeus X get into the ring, they never fail to disappoint. Zeus X and Aire ended up pulling off the win, and what a matchup it was. It was definitely the matchup of the night, like I said. Next matchup was, or another matchup of the night, was the matchup of Taurus and Australian Suicide. It was a decent back and forth, pretty good matchup, but nothing really amazing, like I said, or nothing really too great. I found this matchup to be just simply too predictable, but it was still good nonetheless. Of course, obviously, Taurus ended up winning the matchup. Now, another matchup, we've seen Mr. Iguana versus Rey Horus take on Hiroki versus MM3. So basically, it was a fatal four-way matchup. It was another decent matchup. I couldn't really get into this matchup. I think it's just because of the simple fact that it was just too predictable. I mean, I couldn't really get into it, but it was an alright matchup nonetheless. Horus ended up taking the win in that matchup. So all in all, this event was good, but definitely not great. Now, AAA is, of course, having their another Facebook Watch event starting tomorrow, December 19th. I believe that starts at 8 p.m. We will see Pentagon Jr. in action, as well as Cross, Maximo, Golden Magic, and much, much more. This will be the grand finale, so I'm not too sure if that means that this will be the last time, the last end of the Facebook. I apologize for that, guys. My camera ended up dying, so I apologize for that. But like I said, Maximo, Golden Magic will be there, as well, much more as well. This is the grand finale, so like I said, I don't know if this is going to be the end of AAA Facebook Watch events, or if they're going to take a break and have more, or if they're just going to continue on with it as something else. I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to go, but we'll see. Last week they had the grand finale of the women's division, which was ended up being a triple threat matchup between Tyra, Vanilla, and Kyra. Now Tyra obviously Taya ended up winning this matchup and became the first ever Capital Women's Championship. Now, of course, I would love to see Taya versus Lady Shani in a title versus title matchup. I think this could, if this happens, I think this could easily, hands down, be the matchup of the year. I don't know if AAA would actually go for it. However, like I said, if they do, this could definitely be a huge event at Triple Mania. I mean, it could be really big, and I definitely hope they make it happen. Now, I don't know if you remember last week, but if you watched last week's show, we ended up doing a little story on Vampiro. Sources closest to Vampiro told us that he actually did not re-sign to Lucha Underground, but we did end up hearing back from Vampiro in regards to him leaving Lucha Underground. Like I said, according to our sources, we heard that he had left in Lucha Underground due to contract disputes. But according to Vampiro himself, this simply is not true. Now, Vampiro stated that he is currently out of in-ring action due to a rather bad back injury, but he is in fact rehabbing his back, and it's starting to feel not too bad. He has in fact re-signed with Lucha Underground and is looking forward to continue working alongside with Matt Striker at the commentary table. Now, moving on with AAA. AAA is holding yet another AAA versus Elite event. And I have to say right off the bat that this is enough with Elite versus AAA. It was nice and it was really cool and it was really neat to see the first, AAA versus Elite. But AAA is just going back to the well too often at this point. To the point where the fans, the critics, we're just so tired of it. It's just getting too tiring. Like, AAA should do something different in the fact that they should do another Impact versus AAA, or the Crash versus AAA, or Lucha Underground versus AAA, or something else like that. AAA versus Elite thing is definitely nothing else instead of just tiring and annoying, and just proves that AAA really can't come up with any other good ideas. Plus the Elite guys, 95% of the Elite guys already compete regularly in AAA matches, so it's really nothing new at all. It's just kind of tiring, and enough's enough already, man. Like, AAA, stop it with the Elite versus AAA thing. We've seen it. That's enough. So moving on to some little Lucha Underground news. Executive producers have stated that they are still unsure if Season 5 will happen. In recent interviews with executive producers, Eric Van Wagen, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, I'm bad with names, Chris Roach and Chavo Guerrero Jr. have stated that it's really up to El Rey Network if they could afford another season of Lucha Underground or not. Now, El Rey had to put up more money than they actually wanted to get Season 4 up and going due to Lucha Underground losing several partnerships at the end of Season 3. El Rey Network had to put up some more money to get Lucha Underground Season 4 going. So in a statement made by the head of El Rey Network, Rodriguez, stated that Lucha Underground would have to make a lot more money than they did in previous seasons during Season 4 in order to be considered for Season 5. Now, no word yet as to how much Season 4 actually ended up pulling in, even though they did land a major sponsorship deal during the beginning of Lucha Underground Season 4, so that might have helped for sure, but definitely no word on how much they ended up pulling in, or if they're going ahead with the Season 5. Now, I hope they do personally, but Chris Roach ended up releasing a statement stating that if they do a Season 5, he would want to do a total reboot of Lucha Underground. He would want to go back to the original format. He would want to revisit a lot of the original feuds from the first few seasons, or from the first couple seasons. He would want to go the way the original, he would want to go to the original way that the show was actually first shot. In my opinion, this would be exactly what Lucha Underground needs. They would need to go back to the beginning of how everything was done, like the first couple seasons, maybe revisit some of the first feuds. Lucha Underground Season 4 I found to be very dull, very boring, very predictable, very not as good. I know they ended up bringing back Daria Cueva, I know they ended up bringing back the original Temple, but like at the end, like that was their kind of plan at the end there. But still, I'm hoping that if they do get a Season 5, they do go back to the original ways of everything, but who knows, we'll see. But anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know very much, and check you in the next video.